So yes, she buys me this Christmas tree, right? So I'm not like the Grinch, right? And I accept it on the terms and conditions that we make it a Charlie Brown tree. So I'm over there slashing fucking like branches off this tree just so it could be as miserable as me, and that's just so stupid. But she did that out of the kindness, out of just because she's a friend, right? She doesn't want to see her friend like being miserable, and I just push those type of people away, and I would try to do everything I possibly could to just kind of push them away because it was just easier for me to push them away because I felt like I didn't deserve friends like that. Like who, why would someone want to do something so nice like that for me, right? Like why, you know? So, um, so yeah, so I she did that, and I just spent it by myself. Don't even know if I turned on the lights for that Christmas tree. It just hung out here, and all the meantime, like in the meantime, those friends are hitting me up like, "Hey, come over. What are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh man, I don't feel good," or whatever. And I was just doing that just so I could avoid happiness, And they bought me a Christmas tree. I mean, sorry, not a Christmas tree. They bought me a gift again because they're nice. And obviously I wasn't there, so I did not pick up that gift. And then I wasn't there for New Year's either. I spent New Year's all by myself um, uh, last year, and again because I just didn't. I felt like I didn't deserve to be around people. I felt like I just happiness was not meant for me, and I didn't deserve it. And again, they're asking me to come over. Don't do it. Spend it by myself. Long story short, that literally turned into me not seeing those friends for a year and a half, basically. I mean, I saw them for the first time again uh, in July of this year. So, and they would always ask me to go pick up that gift, that Christmas gift, and I never did. And they just got tired of asking me to pick up that gift, and I feel terrible for it because they did something so nice for me, and I decided to reject that gesture, and I didn't want to reject it. I just felt like I had to reject it, and I bring up that instance because that's just how I just felt in general when people would show me love, or when someone would show me that they cared about me. I just felt like I didn't deserve it, so I would just push it away. Um, because I just wasn't able to forgive myself for something that happened so long ago. Something that is so trivial now that I think about it, being able to just forgive yourself. I couldn't do, I mean, shit, I did therapy for over 2 years, and I'm pretty sure she hated me, my therapist, because all I did was just kind of argue her points, and I just, being me, I would just try to always have a counter argument for everything, and she told me, which I knew, and other people have told me that we all deserve happiness, and we all deserve to be loved, and we deserve to love. And you should not push that away, you know, especially when someone's doing it, because no one has to do that for you. I mean, your family, I mean, they're kind of just stuck with you, right? But friends and people that just want to be with you, just, they don't, they choose to do that. So you do a huge injustice by pushing them away and pushing that type of love away. And she would say these things to me, and I understood what she said, but I just couldn't. I just couldn't, right? Um, so there are other thinking like this also forced me to stop talking to other friends that I also consider you know brothers that I've known since middle school. I mean, I've gone a year, so not talking to them either, just because, or not seeing them, not necessarily not talking to them, but not seeing them because I can't see those type of friends because they bring me happiness, and then we do cool shit, and then I build memories, and then those memories bring me happiness and joy, and it's like, what the fuck are you doing? That's no, you know. I mean, there's other examples of this type of self-destructive behavior that I did. A really, really good friend of mine, when he had his firstborn child, I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't. I obviously said congratulations, but wasn't there, and never went over to go see his son, right, his first son. And that's just something that you do, right, as a friend, as someone that you see as a brother, like you do that. Like, you're like, hey man, like, I'm gonna go see your kid. Like, this is rad. This is dope. Like, I'm an uncle now, and yeah, first time I saw his son was on his birthday. So I saw his son for the first time a year later, and I was there for like an hour, and then I left because there was just too many emotions going on that day, and like of happiness, and I just had to leave. And you know, I've done things like that with my friends, and I've even done that with like my family. Like, I've missed so many events, so many birthday parties. The most recent one that made me realize like I had to get a grip on shit was my niece that's 8 years old. Like, that one really, really hurt. Um, my brother calls me out of the blue. It's kind of bizarre that he calls me because we just don't talk on the phone. Again, probably because of the way that I am. Calls me, tells me, he's like, hey, Denise wants to talk to you on the phone. That's my 8-year-old niece. And I'm like, all right, yeah, sure, put her on the phone. And for whatever reason, she has this really close bond to me. Like, I mean, obviously, my other nieces and nephews love me, don't get me wrong, but like, her bond to me and her love for me and all of that is pretty much unmatched. Not that there's any competitions, obviously, but like, yeah, I don't know what I did, but I'm glad that I have that bond with her because she also made me realize some things. But anyways, she calls me. Well, brother calls me, puts her on the phone. Her first thing that she says is, hey, uncle, I'm just giving you a call because I really miss you because I have not seen you or have talked to you in 4 months, and I really miss you. And when she said that, I literally had to like fight tears because I'm like, what am I doing? Like, I'm hurting everyone around me, and here's my 8-year-old niece that asked her dad, my brother, to call me just so she could hear my voice, just so she could ask me how my day's going, And yeah, we spoke for like an hour, and obviously because of COVID, right, she's doing online school right now, and she's telling me all about it, and she knows that I'm in grad school now, and she asked me about my online homework and all of that, and it was just really nice talking to my niece, and yeah, I mean, now I make that conscious effort to call her every week. We talk on the phone now every week, but my behavior has hurt a lot of people in my life, and even though I was not trying to hurt them, I knew that what I was doing was hurting people, and it's shitty to know that you hurt people, just people that want to be in your life, people that love you, that want to love you, that care for you, just all because you just can't fucking forgive yourself for something, and that just really manifests into you just kind of, I don't know, not living pretty much, and that's pretty much what I've done these last 7 years. I've let life pass me by, and yes, there are some, I mean, I have obviously have had some good times in these 7 years, and I have built some good memories in these 7 years, and obviously, you guys see the stuff that I may post on Instagram on, like, me going snowboarding or doing this shit or that. And yeah, obviously, it's not like I'm not doing anything, but I do a lot to just be alone and to push happiness away. Um, and, uh, and that that way of thinking really just turned me into like who I am now, and I don't like who I am now. I pretty much just always stay home, and I have stayed home for these last 7 years, like on the weekends. Like I may go out here and there, but for the most part, just always wanting to be home. And not that there's anything wrong with being a homebody or anything like that, but the people that actually know me, that knew who I was in, my early 20s and all that, like, or even before then, right? Just people that know me, know that I am an extrovert, right? I like being out and about and being with people and having fun. Like I was always the first one to hit up all of my friends, like Wednesday, Thursday, to see what we were going to do on the weekend. And whether it was just going to the movies, when you were younger, obviously, or um, hanging out at someone's house. Like it just didn't matter. I just stopped doing all of that, and I became this recluse, like introvert, homebody individual that I'm really not. Just because I couldn't go out there into the world and experience things, because that brought me happiness, and I regret that, right? Because I can't get any of that back. I can't make up for lost time. I can't go back to that Christmas party with my friends and family and pick up that gift and be there and share those memories. And I can't make up for these last 7 years of I just can't, right? And it's pretty shitty. And the very few times that I did bring people into my life, that I wanted to share my life with, I did it with the best intentions, and I did it because I wanted to, because I wanted that. And slowly but surely I started kind of losing a grip on not necessarily, on myself, right? I would bring these people into my life, and then shortly thereafter, or maybe a month or two thereafter, I would just start kind of pulling away and pushing away, because I would just fall back into that pit of like, hey man, you don't deserve this type of happiness. Like, what are you doing? And by doing that, you hurt those people, and you don't mean to hurt those people, but you do. And you brought them into your life with the best intentions, and you end up just fucking hurting them, and that sucks. That sucks a lot. And yeah, I mean, these friends of mine, even my family, like, they've just never given up on me, and I can't thank them enough for that. And like, man, I get invited to birthday parties every single year. My friends' kids' birthday parties, and I always acknowledge the invitation, and then I just never show up. And I know they know that I'm not going to show up, but they still extend that invitation out, because that's what you do for people you love and you care about. And I just never came through, right? I just felt like I couldn't do that, and it just sucks. It sucks knowing all of that, and I have lost really good friends because of it, and I have unfortunately have lost have lost certain people, that I've wanted to keep in my life. And actually, I've lost one person. I'm not even gonna say people. I've lost one person that I wanted in my life to be that, like the one for me. Like that person. And I lost that person. It's because of obviously this stupid way of thinking, and even though I didn't mean for any of that to happen, it did. And yeah, but obviously, you take all of that as a learning lesson, and I took all this as a okay, cool. Like, obviously there's a lot of shit going on, and what you need to do, and the first step is to, like, forgive yourself, because without that you can't live life and look ahead, um, and just be happy. And even though it took a very, very, very long time for me to forgive myself, I finally have forgiven myself. And I couldn't have done it with those very dear friends of mine that have been there for me, like these last couple weeks. Just, I don't know, just I couldn't do it without any of them. And I'm very thankful for that. And I just hope you don't do what I did to your life. I just don't. But yeah, that post, it was more because I just needed to just tell fucking the universe that, like, yo, like, back the fuck off, dude. And like, I don't know. It was that moment where everything was pretty much kept inside. That obviously done by me. That all of that was kept inside, and it was like the buildup of 7 years of this type of thinking and behavior and self pity and all that. Like, it was pretty much about, like, I was about to implode. So it was one of those things where it's like, dude, either you let this out, or like shit's just gonna get weird. So I decided to just let it out, and to my surprise, you guys were super supportive. And yeah, I couldn't have done it without you guys, honestly. And I mean, I know there's still work to be done, but yeah, I'm not going to not live life anymore. I can't stop. I can't stop living my life for someone, or for anything, right? It's not taking a jab at anybody either. It's just can't stop living life, right? Time is very precious, and thankfully I guess I finally came to terms with things, and with myself, not with the event itself, just with myself. Just, I finally decided to just forgive myself, and so I could start living my life. And yeah, going forward, my whole approach to things is just, it's the approach that I used to have on life. It's who I am. Who I genuinely am is who I'm gonna be now. Instead of this, like, facade and this fucking person that I'm really not. This hateful person, or this person that people have come to to get to know, like, no, that's really not me. Like, I'm a very loving, caring person for friends and family and anybody else, and I stopped doing that, and I'm no longer gonna do any of that. So, yeah, I just hope this helps people, and yes.